So, okay, one more time. I'm very happy to see you all in my session. So I think you would find a lot of new things about very young learners. Maybe you already know something and you would share with us, yes? But still, I think we all need this basic knowledge about these youngsters, as they are not maybe so easy to deal with and they're tricky, right? Okay, so let me know that you see my screen. Yes?
Yes.
Actually, I don't know how to make it full screen, but is it okay to use it like this so you can see all the slides? Okay, I decided to name my session like part 1, main concepts for a good start, as I don't know a lot about your experience, yes, how many years or how many students you have. Let's just try to cover main points. Believe me, there are a lot, and your brains will train a lot today, but still be ready to work hard, right? As well as to ask me questions, as the session is going to be in English, because I think it's an essential thing to practice this very session in English, because you're going to teach your students in English, okay? So you will learn a lot about this. Okay, the context for today is just looks very simple, but believe me, there are 34 slides in it. So let's begin with intro. You see, it's quite huge area. You are going to practice a lot and discuss a lot. Who is a very young learners, or who are very young learners, right? I'm going to discuss some main concepts about them, beautiful ideas from clever people, right? Psychologists, methodologists, etc. Then we briefly going to discuss points, what we do before lessons, what we do during lessons, after lessons. Maybe, I hope we have time to speak about us, all about teachers, right? And there is a funny conclusion just for you to have a good day, okay? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great, so you're welcome. So who is a very young learner? There are some definitions for you to start with. We are going to play on a word wall. Please let me know, do you see this very page?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, just very fast, let's try to look through these main concepts. Learning through play, fun, oral approach in teaching, individual attention, multisensory, recycling, attention span, listening. And find correct definition for every statement. So, Ksenia, could you please start with the first one you like best?
Introducing language in a different context or through different skills.
Come on, you can choose anything you like from the left side and then tell me where should I put it. But if you'd like to go straight away one by one, okay.
Well, okay, let's start from the left column. Learning through play. This is when input comes from doing fun activities, probably.
So, colleagues, do you agree? Colleagues, I think yes. When they have fun, they learn more. So, Victoria Kulikova, what about next concept?
The amount of time spent concentrating on a task before becoming distracted. Attention span.
Yes, absolutely right. And yes, we will talk about it later. So, Елена Полянка, please.
Fun, probably. This is defined by the Oxford English Dictionary as light-hearted pleasure, enjoyment, amusement. Yeah?
I'm sorry, I have a child today, so sometimes you will see some. Please don't do this.
Very young learner.
Yes, he used to be, but this year he's 7 already.
Oh, okay.
And he attends school. Yes, I agree with you. So this is something about pleasure and entertainment. So Olga Karakieva. Sorry for maybe mispronouncing your name, but
I don't like my surname. This is my previous ex-husband. Yeah. Okay, so an oral approach in teaching. This is when language is being presented, modeled, and practiced. Verbal communication. So we teach only some words, but not how to spell. So an oral approach in teaching.
You mean this?
So we teach words only orally, but not how to write them. Yes, this.
I'm sorry. Yes. All right. Okay. Next one, maybe. What can I see here? There are so many. Susana, what about you?
I choose multisensory. This is a way of teaching that engages more than one sense at a time.
Absolutely. So this also one of the most essential things while teaching very young learners. Thank you very much. Alena Averina.
So I chose individual attention. It means in classes, this is when you try and give one student your time rather than the whole class.
Yes. Yes, so you should pay your attention individually because all the children are unique and right. So next is Guliram Nurulina. Guliram, please.
I tried introducing language in a different context or through a different skill. This is recycling.
Yes, when you practice new vocabulary or grammar structures, but you adjust it a bit. Yes, you change the context, you change the situations, and maybe change cards, substitute cards with realia, why not? Okay, and the final one is for Uliana Sobolyeva.
So we have listening, and it's the ability to accurately receive and interpret messages in the communication process.
Okay, well done, everyone. Thank you. Let's come back to our presentation. So as you see, the answers, so we started with maybe the basic concepts, yes, to speak about your young learners, and maybe they will give you a good startup, yes, to deal with them. So, I'm sorry, one moment, please. I'm sorry, can I stop? Okay, so, all right, let's just discuss these concepts in some details, right? So recycling is all about how you can extend the range of vocabulary or grammar structures. Yes. And when you do this, you help your children to remember in a long-term memory. Why multisensory approach is so essential? You know that when children use their sight and hearing and movement, yes, and you give an opportunity to touch different things, they learn something quicker as they learn everything in connection. Yes? Individual attention is very important because, you know, sometimes it's difficult to control maybe the whole class, but when you have a good rapport with this very learner that maybe a distractor or, I don't know, maybe in a bad mood, you you can have great, better class management, right, and discipline. And of course, it's very essential to pay individual attention to some kids that are very shy, to try to explain them more in different way. Maybe you also will use L1. It's also possible. Speaking about learning through play, there are many authors by famous scientists, right? And look at this text from Sonia Petrovska, Despina Sievska, and Oliver Kakov, a role of the game in the development of preschool child. Just take a look at it, and I have a summary of this text. So, can we sum up? Look, if you want to add something, you can just ask me just to give you an opportunity to say something. But if we sum up, game is something natural. Yes, it's natural part of kids' life. And during the game, sometimes games help children to avoid stress, overcome fears, recharge batteries. Also, they, you know, they live in a land of fantasy, right? And when you give them opportunity to reach their dreams, right? They feel better. They express their emotions easily, and you can maybe solve a lot of problems on the spot, yes, during the game. Look, role play activities help kids to learn different kinds of social adaptation and cooperation. For example, what is good, what is bad? Maybe you know some of the examples, yes, when you learn a brother and a sister, yes, what is good, what is bad, how to share toys, etc. Games also help them to act independently, individually, yes, and socialize. You know that when you start working with 3 years old, they are such individualists, yes, and maybe they are not aware of team games and they are not ready for this. But gradually, through learning and games, you see their changes, and they are now they're just can deal with peers. Then later they even can play in groups, and in 6 years old classes, you even can arrange some teamworks, competitions, right? So it's all about their cognitive development skills and also social skills. Games and activities should be motivating and interesting, right? And also they should fit their level. Of course, you are not going to play this onion rings game with very young learners. They can't read, they can't ask questions and answer very quickly. You prefer maybe some ball games or dealing with toys. Something to add here? Maybe you have some experience in your classes. No? We covered everything. Okay.
It's difficult with young learners to learn to teach them to work in pairs, because it's difficult to control what they are saying, and they are just start saying something in Russian.
And how do you deal with this? And what is the age group of
5-6 years old? 5-6 years old.
Look, I can say that 5-6 years old are quite gifted to work in pairs, and there are no problems to teach them to cooperate in this way. But I would add that for 3 years old, it's maybe the toughest one, right? And 4 years old, look, we already have 3 weeks, yes, in studies, and my classes of 4 years old, they already work in pairs. So you just need patience. You need to learn some tricks and tips, and you will see that they can do this. Okay, we will discuss it later. Thank you for your comments. Let's go to the next thing from our game, listening, right? Why listening is so important? Maybe have some quick ideas.
Can I add, please?
Yes, please, Ksenia.
Well, I think that listening is, it really has a connection to the natural learning of our first language. This is how we actually learn it. We listen to our parents, to our friends. This is how we do not really think of some grammar structures and even pronunciation. We just kind of imitate everything, how it sounds, how we build a sentence. We start from some simple phrases, then we make some more complicated sentences and so on. So it's quite a natural way of learning.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And it's easier to them to learn this way, as they eager to repeat after you like parrots, right? That's why we teach them songs and chants a lot. Yeah. Attention span. Yes, is it short or long? You're absolutely right. It was short. It is short. And knowing this thing, you should have a great range of activities and games for your lesson. If you have a ready plan for your lesson, it doesn't mean that you will cover all of these lines in your plan. You should be ready for some unexpected situations, right? And you should be flexible. What about pace of the lesson? Is it fast or slow? Of course, you should be ready to be fast, right? As it's this is very young learners' nature, to be fast, to do everything fast, to be curious, to learn about this and that. If they notice something, they immediately go to this very thing. Just a touch to try or to look at it. Do you use attention grabbers and transition charts? You have to. So, do you know what attention grabbers are? So there are some examples. For example, you see after a steer, after a tipper activity, kids become delighted and they are very nosy, right? To calm them down, you say just like 1, 2, 3, look at me. Okay, they hear you, they learn the rhyme, and you show with gestures, okay, everyone, sit down, please. Attention grabber is a great way to catch your learners' attention very quickly and to move to the next stage. What is a transition chant? Transition is something that helps you to move your students from one area in your room to another. For example, with teens or young learners, it's very easy to say, okay, everyone, sit down at your desks, right? But what should we do with very young learners? You should be creative. And a good way is to learn a range of chants. For example, when you meet your children in a semicircle in the beginning of the lesson, you might start with hello or good morning song. When you want to move them to the mat and to play on the mat with cards or with toys, you just sing some chants. For example, 1, 2, 3, let's go to the mat, it's a mat time. Or I always use the chant from Языковая course. Yes, I can sing games. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, I am sitting on the floor. And we also call it like зарядка для попы. And it's a very funny thing to ask your children to sit on the mat. Or when you want to move them to the table, you also can say, all right, it's a table time, let's go, come up to me, like it's a table time. So they know that they're going to the table and they sit down, something like this. Yes, some quick words during the lesson. All right, let's play a game. Look, it's a ball game, or something that maybe you come up with ideas by personally, or you learned from some great videos. Any questions here?
Repeat once more. Языковая chant.
Yes, we have Valeria Meshcheryakova's program. Yes, course, I Can Sing Games. We have them on our Google Drive, so you please pay attention on these songs. And if you don't know how to provide them with correct gestures, I can learn it during my next session, or you please send me an individual, how do we call this? Ask me individually, right, to teach you how to do this, how to deal with every song from Языковая, okay? Look, everything should be like a fun during the lesson, right? Look, I have the 2 questions for you here. Is it controlled by a teacher or not?
Definitely.
Yes, of course. Look, you are the main person in the classroom, and you should help your little kids, your little friends, to control themselves. They don't know anything, almost anything about their bodies, their minds, and they it's difficult, first of all, to them to control themselves. Of course, you can help them to get accustomed in your classroom through routines. Routines are something that you repeat day by day, every lesson. That will help your students to feel more comfortable. So it's about morning routines, evening routines, how to sit on the chairs, how to sit at the desks, how to raise their hands and to ask to go out and drink, many of them. Of course, it's all about rules and discipline, right? We just not going to have some practice today, right? But believe me, rules and discipline help you a lot if you know some tips and tricks. What about rewards or punishment? Punishment is almost impossible as well as rewards. Look, sometimes if you have good classroom management, you deal with their discipline and you use a lot of beautiful tools during the lesson. Believe me, 3 years old and 4 years old, they are not aware of rewards. They don't need them at all. They just work with you and absorb everything. They are so gullible and they're eager to learn everything from your mouth. Punishment, of course, I'm not speaking about physical punishment. Yes, it's absolutely forbidden in here. And also maybe you're aware of rude words, or I don't know, use some restrictions during the lesson. Look, punishment is something that you should avoid. You should substitute with some games, with some, I don't know, just try to focus kids' attention very fast on something. If something goes wrong, you try to change this activity, just to shift their focus on something. They forget very quickly what happened 1 second ago, okay? And you can control them easily as they have undeveloped cognition, yeah? Yes, as we mentioned, listening skills as one of the main in this very ages, right? Very early ages. An oral approach in teaching is essential. They like, they repeat everything you say, everything you mime. Primary teachers, of course, their TTT, teaching talking time, is maybe higher than in comparison with teachers who work with teens. It's absolutely essential in very young learners, right? Okay. So, guys, now I'd like you to work in groups and to learn more concepts, more essential things about very young learners. Maybe you will learn, you will be shocked or will be surprised, or maybe you will manage everything in it. I have a table with some gaps. Page 13, let it be for group 1. Page 14, let it be for group 2, okay? And look, there are some statements about very young learners, and you should just quickly answer, is it true about these very ages or false?
Can we take a photo or screenshot, or you will share this?
Look, I would like you to, yes, I will share the link, but please use only 13 and 14, yes, 13 and 14 slides, as the next slide is about answers, right? Don't move further.
Okay.
So let me copy the link to my presentation. Please try to go through this link and let me know that everything works.
Нет доступа.
Okay, I see.
Maybe we'll just take photo and that's it.
All right. So, okay, if you can take a photo or a screenshot, please. Page number 1, yes? Numbers from 1 to 7 is for group number 1. Please take a photo of 2 pages, please. Maybe you will have time to cover the first page as well. So everyone is ready with this page number 1, yes?
Can you share your presentation? To take photo. Screen, I mean.
Ah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because sometimes when you are a manager, you can't see what you see. All right, so this is the first page. Please take a photo or screenshot. And ready?
Yep.
And this is the second page. So there are 14 statements to cover, right? So let me divide you into rooms. Okay, you're going to work in big rooms, but I think it will be useful for you just to discuss very fast. Maybe you are experienced in this and it will be very easy for you to decide, okay? Are you ready to work?
Yeah.
Please. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I didn't think about the timing. I'm sorry. Can I check? How can I check the timing of this? Sorry, I'm sorry you come back. I'm sorry because I forgot about timing. I think that for this very discussion, you will have maximum 10 minutes. If you're ready early, please come back because you will discuss, you have doubts and okay, I'm sorry. So 10 minutes for you to work. So one more time, ready, steady, go. So welcome back. How was your discussion in each group? Have you learned something new?
Yeah, maybe they remember, but they don't remember exactly. They don't know exactly what they did.
Mm-hmm. So there are many doubts I heard about your young learners. Okay, so let's move on and learn the answers. So, do you see my screen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good. Okay, look, you're absolutely right that number one is true. So, other definitions exist. Can you believe? Sometimes even 1 year old can be taught the foreign language. This is like a standard, right? And look, you may extend this range from 1 to 7 years old. Remember what they did last week. This is true. They even can tell you little stories about their last week. So they have good memories, believe me. And they also can, for example, remind you where they were in the storybook last week. So be ready to learn about this. So are they ready to work in pairs? Yes, true. Definitely for 5, 6 years old. Yes, I heard from you about this. But sometimes it depends on the task. Yes, and sometimes it's like individually. Yes. Of course, they not ready maybe for large discussions, but they are ready for short dialogues or some games in pairs. As about manipulating scissors, pens, yes, like pencil control, I mean here, it's true. Even 4 years old can do this, of course, through varies in individuals. Yes, it depends on physical and cognitive development of each child. And it's also depending on length of your classes, right? Sometimes you may do every activity very fast as you can help every student to, yes, manipulate the scissors. Sometimes your classes are quite large to pay quick attention for everyone, so they should wait. Maybe they will upset faster, but still, it's true. Can they follow a story, read to them? Of course, yes. When you present your stories with lots of visuals and with, you know, when you use miming gestures through storytelling, they can follow the story. They can answer your questions, and it's like, from my experience, 6 years olds can even read some easy words. Yes. So they can tell they're hungry, need the toilet. Yes, it's true. They can. Sometimes they might not, because maybe they haven't learned these very rules still, so they don't know what to say. But still, you can practice these easy phrases, and they ask you to go to the toilet. Why not? What about follow clear and well demonstrated rules and routines? Yes, of course they can follow. I repeat myself again, that all aspects of their lives are governed by rules and help them figure out life. Yes, you try to help them to be here in this very moment, to adapt themselves in different situations. But of course, your rules should be clear. You were absolutely right, short, consistent. So if they follow the rules, you should follow these rules too. So remember this. Consistent. So they use their imagination and play. Of course, yes. They absolutely enjoy pretend games. Yes, and they always like to be the teacher, even the shy students. So don't forget to delegate even the very young learners to be teachers. Recognize if you're happy or angry. Do you have true here?
Yeah.
Of course, yes. So you can be maybe upset during the morning, but be ready to leave every negative emotion home or somewhere outside, and be ready to share great positive emotions with your students, because they are good readers. They can decode your bad emotions very quickly. Remember what picture is on the face down flashcards. What do you have here? True or false? Like in your groups. True. Yes, because look, there is a good phrase about very young learners. They are learning machines. They really like puzzles, memory games, and they learn from them very quickly. 11, look, this is our first false answer. Understand someone else's perspective. What is it about? It's about like future plans, right? They can't plan for future, for a long-term period. They couldn't see the things from someone else's point of view, right? They can't maybe read your thoughts why you ask them to sit here, not there. They just listen to you and do. Yes, they're so persuasive and gullible, right? So count to 10 in L1. I hope you have true here. Yes, because
we have false.
You have
because
false.
we have some, yeah, because we have some examples that a 5-year-old girl couldn't count to 10. She couldn't recognize.
In L1, in L1,
yeah, in
yes?
Russian, yeah.
Okay. But yes, something individual, but we have some ideal, yes, researchers, like this is general idea that they can. So you can use it, this knowledge, and you can learn them count in English, and you can play with different games concerning numbers, yes, and counting, so they can. Sometimes it will depend on schooling, parenting, and local culture, yes. For example, maybe in some cultures, maybe they are, I don't know, they don't learn how to count till they're 6 years old. Then maybe they will start some math skills, maybe like this. But they really can. What about concepts like some abstract concepts? Do they understand them?
No,
I think
not. So we have also false. Sometimes they don't understand what is summer, what is autumn. They don't know even the words season.
Yes. Yes, for example, they don't know what day it is now, right? They just know that they have something good with the teacher. They are going to play, they are going to draw, and then go to their mommies, of course. So as you see here, very young learners live very much in here and now. So, of course, they're not aware of the dates, season, or even time, right? Of course, you can teach them some basic, maybe easiest concepts like hot and cold. Yes, we use emotion cards, and we use gestures, cold and hot. They understand this, but that's it. That's it. And the final one, ask a peer to stop doing something. What do you have here? False or true? We're speaking about
True.
English. Maybe sometimes even
English.
native.
In English. They can ask to do it in Russian, but not in English.
Maybe,
No,
but
so
they are
far.
not ready to do this. They even in Russian is very difficult to them because look, from my experience, when somebody is starting lying on the floor while we are singing a song, they just can look at him and repeat the same action, or the very little thing they can do, just say, oh, Natalia, look, and that's all. They don't say, come on, stand up, don't lie on the floor. They just find it quite natural. Sometimes they repeat after this person. Sometimes they just, oh, Natalia didn't say about this. Okay, I will look at Natalia's reaction. Yes, maybe they need some scaffold things from you. Like, shall I go to the floor now or clap my hands? So, okay. So, great. Thank you for some. This is like all about main concepts about very young learners. And now let's have some short, how we can say, squeezes, right? Выжимки from my experience for you to learn more about what you do before lessons, during and after. After this discussion, I would like you to think, maybe not today, maybe during the week, and you maybe will come with ideas. What would you like to learn as a practical part in details? And yes, there are many spheres to discuss and practice. Okay, so let's go and start with what you do before lessons. Look, it's quite easy to guess that you do some arrangements, right? You prepare the room. You prepare the furniture. You prepare the seating places for them. So you think how to start the lesson. Are they going to start sitting on the mat or sitting on the chair in a semicircle position? Or you're going to start at the desks? Yes? Also, you should be aware of zones in your classroom. So, in your mind, divide your room into some zones. You're absolutely sure that this very zone is for playing with toys, dealing with cards, right? And maybe do some CPR active songs, right? You know where your working zone is, right? Maybe you're working at the desks, maybe at the big table, or you're using chairs like small table. It's also possible, right? What are other zones for your children in your very classroom? Maybe you know that your 3 and 4 years old are so curious that they grab everything they notice, yes? So please think before you start the lesson where you should keep your handouts, the toys, the toy guests, where to hide maybe markers, to put everything higher on the board. So it's all about arrangements. It's absolutely essential to do before, even maybe to put into your plan, because if somebody notices a very marker on the board, so be ready, everyone goes there to the board, not to play with you and with the ball, okay? And of course, think what materials you're going to use during the lesson. They should be safe, yes, comfortable, appropriate, due age, due cultural features, moral aspects. Of course, you should, maybe you ask parents even about this very material to use. Maybe some allergic children are here in your classroom. So it's all about this. So something new about this very section. Do you use zones in your classroom?
Mhm.
Yeah, of course.
Yes? Okay. I also named them for you, so you maybe have more than just 1 or 2 zones. Yes, circle time, math time, running activities, board activities. So you can just imagine these various zones in your classrooms. Okay. What to do during the lessons? I'd like you just to have small discussion now on the spot, okay? Because everyone uses different morning or warm-up songs. Maybe you have great examples of what you use, great channels on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Do you use songs from your course books or warm-up songs from the YouTube videos? Mm-hmm.
Both.
Okay. Any other ideas?
Can I say?
Yes, please.
Yeah, we do use these songs from the course book, but well, usually we don't, for example, the greeting, hello songs during all the year because they will get bored. So it probably the first week in September, and then I try to find different songs, videos on YouTube. They are usually series of songs, like, you know, some educational channels like Super Simple Songs, BBC series, different videos for very young learners. They have very
Yes, thank you. You're absolutely right. Look, you, sorry, who's noticed? Yeah. No, it's not you, sorry. Somebody's microphone is too loud. What is it? Do you know?
No.
It's from Victoria Kulikova. Sorry, I muted you. Okay, so look, you're absolutely right. There are many ways to present your morning routines with very young learners. Look, personally, I use different, I do it in different ways. It depends on the level, right? So with 3 and 4 years old, I recommend to use something, to use less videos because it's from you, okay? Like I prefer to use morning or evening songs with the bell by Языковая, and it really grabs the attention to you, to your gestures, and to work as a whole family, right? Like in, good morning, or in, good evening. We deal with the level of the voice, we deal with their emotions. If they're tired, they sing evening song. If they're happy, they sing morning songs. As for the warm-up songs with 5 years olds and 6 years olds, it's a good idea just to start with the same video song every lesson. As they say hello, maybe they try to relax a bit after their kindergartens, right? But with 3-4 years old, I recommend to lessen these videos for them. As they like these videos, I think they like steal the attention from reality, okay? And it's very difficult for young learners to focus on you, on their peers around, on toys that you show them if they see the TV screen, okay? try to lessen, just to minimize this. It's better to use audios and to think by yourself. That's a good idea to use the songs from the course book, because it's all about recycling, yes? And this is what they really can do at home. Try to share these very links with parents, so children can sing the same songs at home. That's a good idea. What games and materials you use during the lessons? I have some examples, but maybe you have something to add. It's like how to begin the lesson or how to play with them during the lesson. It's a good idea to use a softball, pass and catch it, right? Use a sticky ball, again, to learn some new cards, new concepts. Fly swatters, do you know and use them? Who likes fly swatters? Okay, Yelena, Olga, I see some hands, great. Fly swatters is a good idea when you see your students are quite strong and fluent. You can arrange them working in 2 teams, have some competitions, or if you have 3 or 4 or even 5 years old, they still individuals, right? You ask them to do it one by one, yes, to, for example, run to the board, flip the correct card and run back. So use it like a steer activity, yes. Of course, it's a good idea to use realia like toys. Do you use fishing games? Do you know how they look like? Or might look like?
Fishing
Please
games.
share. Please share if you
For
use.
example, I have fishing rod, yes, 2 fishing rods, and I eliminated fish. For example, it can be the theme like school subjects. And inside or maybe on the top of this fish, I print there. It can be pen, so from pen to desk, for example, yes. And I divided my group into 2 teams, and in front of them there is a fishing rod, and I say like, come on, ready, set, go, and they start to fishing. But when they caught the fish, they should say the phrase like, so for example, I caught a fish with pen, or maybe I caught fish with desk, and they really like it. It's full of fun. But of course, it takes time to print all these kind of fish. Never mind, it can be like colors, numbers, so any topic, and at the same time you can teach some actions and like the word like a boat, sea, yeah, like shark. So it's like the game lava or volcano also.
Yes, thank you for sharing. That's a good idea to make your students speak more, right? When you name the word or the cards, you can catch a fish, yes? Or vice versa, you catch a fish and you name what is on the, yes, on the fish, or you name the color, or you count all the fish you caught. So there are, yes, variety of various ways to use this.
May I say, if it's about the softball, we also play not with very young learners, but with super minds levels. It works perfectly. We play snowball with the ball.
Okay.
When you have to repeat one after another, this is the way you can kind of grab the attention of your students and make them listen to one another.
Yes, and because when you use multi-sensory approach, it will help them to have fun and at the same time to connect this new vocabulary with very pleasant, for example, fluffy things they can touch, right? Okay. What about interaction patterns to use? Hidya, I'm busy. Of course, I have the main interaction partner as teacher class. Yes, this is essential. You meet your students, you have the lesson, everything from the teacher. Of course, it's all about individual reactions, individual work, yes, and with some monitoring and support by the teacher. As for the student and class, student and student, so I will mark them both with stars. Of course, it depends on students' fluency, yeah. But still, you should try. You should keep trying. Teach your students to act as the teachers, yes, and to work in pairs. It's absolutely essential, and to it worth your challenging maybe lessons. It's worth doing this, believe me. Okay. Also, I have this very thing, I think, which is important to mention. Some kids come to your classroom with their possessions. Yes? Do you have such students? They always have something interesting in their hands while visiting your lessons, right? So, what are your steps here? How to deal with this and how to avoid stress from students or crying or something like this? You should be patient first of all and monitor. If it's the very first 1-2 lessons, be patient. Don't take their possessions away, just monitor, right? You monitor what? If the toy doesn't disturb a child, you don't remove it. You pay your personal attention to this kid, of course, but maybe you don't pay so much attention on his or her possession. You see that this is their toy friends, and they really help them to learn new material. So use this opportunity. So you can also involve their toys to work in this lesson, to play this very game. I always notice these friendly toys, and I ask these toys to be teachers. Okay, so clever rabbit. All right, what card is it? And look, children really like when I do this. Look, if the kid pays a lot of attention on this toy, or maybe they possess some nosy things, right? Maybe some calculators, some toy phones, etc. You have, I have 3 ways how to behave yourself. For example, maybe this very toy was the last reason parents make their kid to enter your room. Yes, can it be so? Maybe it was difficult to go to an absolutely strange person and to learn a strange language, right? They are scared and they hold something they are accustomed to. Yes, so you watch again, you monitor. If you think that kids can't move possessing this toy, ask some alternatives where they can keep this toy in your classroom. Show them beautiful, magical areas for their kids, for their toys. For example, the window. This is a good observation. You say, oh, look, your toy is going to look at you, how you dance, how you play, and your toy maybe will learn English with you. Or maybe, oh, look, your toy is so tired today. Phew, I have a good box for your toy to sleep during the lesson, maybe. So imagine, prepare some beautiful zones for their toys. Maybe you have small classes and you have spare chairs to, yes, put their toys next to each child. So their toys are also participants in this very lesson. So, and sometimes you can use this toys to speak instead of you, right? But sometimes toys can be distractors. What you should do? Try your best to talk to parents before the lesson, yes, and to persuade them to leave these very toys with parents, to leave them at home, or to find reasons why you can't use them now, put them in your bags, but when can they use their possessions, right? So make up different ways to avoid some unpleasant moments, right? Look, what also can happen during the lesson? There are some curious parents who are eager to attend your lessons. Do you have such parents? A lot, I think. Look, the first thing to say is to be like, no, to be the main in this situation, yes, to try to persuade them and say, we have open lessons, you can see all the process during our open lessons, blah, blah, blah. So refer to our rules, yes, of the school. If it doesn't work, you can ask them to participate in your lesson, but not like a parent, but like a kid. You say, okay, you can enter the room, but please listen to the rules of this access, right? So you transform into a little girl or a boy, you are going to listen to a teacher. I am Natalia. You are not Natalia Sergeyevna or Valentina Pavlovna. You are Valia, you are Katyusha, you are Misha. So you're welcome to my class. Are you ready to act like this? Some parents, believe me, say, oh, no, I'm not ready, okay? They can't afford to act like little girls. And when you say, okay, no smartphones at my lesson, say, oh, sorry, okay, I will wait in the hall. But if the parents are curious and brave enough, so please be ready to work with them like with little boys and girls. And of course, please remind them not to translate for them kids, not to pay attention on their kids. They are not their kids in this lesson. They are their friends, peers, yes? They should be equal. So that will help you a lot towards such curious parents. They stop to be pushy. They stop to be like suspicious about your lessons. They will believe you, totally believe you after these lessons, and you will continue working with their kids just like with pleasure and success. So guys, share if you have such experience. Have you ever transformed such curious parents into little kids or boys? Or never? Never? So try this. I did it many times in my career, and it really helps. Okay, now let's go to what we do after lessons. Okay, if you have some stickers, stamps, maybe cookies or candies, so you're welcome. You think that it's like a good reward, a good idea to say thank you for these kids, and it works well, yes? They are eager to work hard just to have this sticker in the end of the lesson, why not? Yes, and maybe you have such a rule, like if you're sitting nicely, you're good students, look, I have beautiful stickers for you in the end of the lesson. And they, oh, yes, we are ready. Yes, they're eager to work for the sticker. Okay, maybe it works good, so use it. Use any reward system you like. So nowadays we have stickers in our classrooms and it works really well. As for feedback, it also can be a great reward, yes, for your students. You can do it during the lesson, in the end of the lesson. You share your feedback with your kids and always share it with their parents in the hall. Because parents are so nervous always. After the lesson, they're like, oh, ну как он там? Come on, you say. Every student is absolutely fantastic. Good job, everyone. Сашечка, Ванечка, Олечка, super great. And the students are okay, praised, and the parents are calmed down. What to do with the homework? Look, personally, I don't have time sometimes, or can't see reasons to give homework for students when they're 3 or 4 years old. They don't understand this thing. They can't even use these books. Maybe in the end of the year, they will understand what to open, how to deal with these books, but it's very hard to them to explain. Don't waste your time on doing this. It's easier just to explain parents after the lesson what you ask them to do, how to use this Talent application, yes, how to go through the links you recommend them to watch or to learn, right? Always repeat your homework in the hall for the parents. Dealing with 6 years old, maybe it's possible to give them homework, but not always, right? So just, you can vary here. But be persistent if you ask students to do the homework in 6 years old classes. So try to check it. Maybe not every lesson, but at least 1 lesson a week. It's necessary because these students, when they 5 or 6 years old, they are eager to show you their homework because they spend their time, they mommies helped them a lot, and they share their emotions with you. So please have time to find time to check this homework, and as well as to give them your homework, right? Explain them and then explain to their parents too. So this is all about very young learners in brief. Do you have any questions? Maybe you have some ideas how to develop some of this section during future meetings? Would you like to share some of your ideas? What we haven't covered and you today would like to listen about this, but you haven't.
I have a question. Kids are laughing too loud. How to calm down them?
Are they laughing during the game or what? Or every morning in the beginning of the lesson? How happens?
Some activities, some games, while we were listening some audio, and they are starting to laugh too loud. Activity, it's interesting for other kids. I cannot change it.
Look, it depends. How old are your students?
5, 6 years old.
So look, of course, maybe in the first occasions such, yes, like this, you may just use your gestures and monitor what happens next. Maybe it repeats every lesson, right? So it's better just to stop this very activity, to change your position in the room, and to say something in L1, remind them about rules of the lesson. It's like, okay, I will stop this game, and okay, I speak Russian. Мне приходится остановить игру. Я очень, например, можно сказать, я очень недовольна. Кто-то тут мешает всем играть. Ну, нужно как-то... So you just it's a recommendation to make up some yes, your me messages to them, to remind them about rules, to remind them about good behavior, bad behavior, maybe about rewards. Okay? It's like, кто-то здесь разыгрался, кто сидит красиво, покажите мне красивые спинки. Их можно как-то отвлечь, допустим. Можно показать, что it's not good. Может быть, у вас в это время гость заплакал. Попробуйте манипулировать игрушкой. Секунду, у нас же Полли спит. Вы чего тут расшумелись? И как-то вот так вот, возможно, попробовать их немножечко успокоить. Так это нормальная ситуация. They laugh, but maybe not so loud. Try to push them not to be very loud. Use gestures. Мы используем также жесты. Можете учить с ними рутину тогда в начале урока, когда мы говорим normal voice, и вы здороваетесь нормальным голосом. Okay, say hello, look, normal voice. Hello, hello, hello. Now let's say it louder. Hey, hello, I'm happy, hello. And now let's say it in a low voice. Hello, hello, in whisper. И попробуйте вот это вот потренировать, и когда вы играете в какую-то игру, допустим, пробуйте вот эти вот жесты использовать. Может быть, на них это подействует. Может быть, вы напомните им, что все-таки игрушка сегодня спит и не мешайте ей спать. Ну, что-то вот в таком духе. Нужно пробовать разные моменты. Все дети разные. Кто-то смеется над этим, а кому-то это вообще не смешно. Кто-то верит, что игрушечку реально надо ложить спать, а кто скажет, что он там спать не хочет. Все-таки пробуйте разные моменты. Но главное не говорить, ах ты такой, зачем ты сейчас шумишь. Главное говорить от себя. Я недовольна, пересылать на кого-то игрушку. Вот проснулась, испугалась, больше к вам в гости не придет, в таком духе. Что это вот небольшие манипуляции, но в игровой форме нужны.
Спасибо.
Any other questions? Shall we move on? Okay, so let's speak a little bit about us, about teachers. I would like to discuss it because I think I find it absolutely essential to learn more about you, how to behave, how to get dressed, how to use your gestures, your body language, right? So let's discuss in groups. Who is an ESL teacher? You try to find main features to be the best very young learner teacher. Yes. What describe us like very young learners teacher? What is it to be a very young learners teacher? Are you ready to have a little discussion? Yeah. Okay. Yes. So I will try to add some new rooms for you. And so you will have an opportunity to relax a little bit and to speak, to share your ideas. Okay, 3, 4, 3, 3. And you have, let it be 4 minutes.
Okay.
So, ready, steady, go. Oh, sorry, Susanna, one moment. Go to room 4, please. And Людмила. Sorry, Ludmila, do you have some? Oh, okay. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for sharing your beautiful ideas. Look what I have heard from you. The ESL teacher is a person who is ready to be a kid, right? You're ready to be silly and not too serious. Please remember this. Be ready to change the activities very fast, as well as to play a lot, to be a good entertainer, involve every student into a game, to be full of imagination and energy, of course. You should be energetic, and I have such, emojis to characterize you like the best teacher. Of course, it's all about us. I have some also great words here, like you have a lot of energy and patience. So you ready to learn your students through recycling, repetition, yes. You need to be on the ball. Of course, you're constantly attending to little things without disrupting the flow of the lesson. You try to be like flexible, right, during the lesson, not to even show that something goes wrong, right? Nobody knows what is in your plan. So also, it's not to be easy to learn very young learners. It's a hard work. You should show and demonstrate genuine interest in teaching this age group, as well as possess enough energy to match the students. Because these kids, they really need a lot of energy from you. Yes, they share their energy, but I think they take more from you. So be ready to share your energy with them. And to teach very young learners, it's not just teaching language. You like good mothers of your class, you should teach them a lot of other things around our world, yes, as well as how to deal with their emotions, how to deal with their peers, what to do at the desks or on the mat, a lot of how to manipulate these pens, pencils, scissors a lot, yes? So you really help them to develop themselves socially, emotionally, okay? And this is like your own world you organize to make your students feel comfortable, safe, surrounded by your care, positive emotions, your positive attitude, yes, and etc. So guys, what I want to share next is how you look like. Of course, it's like my ideal thoughts, but should you be too official? Probably no. Because I think that your clothes should be comfortable for you to be very active during the lesson, right? To sit everywhere, almost everywhere, on the chair, under the chair, on the mat.
Oh yeah, Natasha, may I share? Last year
Please.
when I taught very young learners, I used to wear my yellow hoodie with SpongeBob, and they all loved it. And they always smiled at me when they saw me in this very yellow hoodie. And yes, I wore it, especially for my very young learners.
Yes.
So yes, I agree with you that clothes for very young learners are very important.
Yes, Katesh, thank you for sharing. I also, from my experience, I find it quite, useful to put some funny clips on my, I don't know, sweater or short or t-shirt, or to use some brochures. I have, a little mouse, a little cat, so they pay attention on it, and you always praise them back, like, oh, what beautiful shoes you are wearing today. Look at my shoes. Maybe you are today in a funny shoes with cats' faces. Yes, you attract their attention with your appearance too. Try to use some accents in your style. If you like this casual style, please try not to be always in a black, right, or pink. Look at these examples. Students really learn from you how to wear, how to attract other people, maybe not, how to say, осознанно, like cognitively, right? But they learn gradually. And believe me, they will, sometimes they even imitate your even style, and they try to wear something new on their sweaters too. Yes, and they're really like when teacher attracts their attention, something new. Oh, Natalia, you have good manicure today. Wow. So even this, even your makeup can make an atmosphere, can make a lot during your lesson. Guys, what tips or maybe features do you use teaching very young learners? Maybe you have a favorite sweater like Katya does.
Can I say?
Please?
Can I say? So, for example, I'll have fluffy jumper, and you know they like some soft, fluffy things. So they think that for example, I don't see them. Yeah, they think so, but in real, they want to touch you, really. So they like all kinds of fluffy things, and really they make attention. And I don't know, maybe it's because they like animals, all cute things. And they just look at you like, wow, look at your jumper, look at this fluffy jumper. And you know, during the lesson, they learn this phrase like fluffy, for example, like color too. Like, can I touch? See the phrase, can I touch? Like, can you touch my jacket, for example, or another things? And it works. It's worked perfectly with them.
Yes, almost every lesson before we set up the routines, like to walk your Russian tongues with the key, I always pay my attention on their appearance. Like, oh, wow, you're wearing so beautiful t-shirts today. Look, my t-shirt is black, and what about yours? Oh my God. So you just try to praise your students in the very beginning, and I'm absolutely happy to play with you all the lesson. Right. Thank you.
So, and also another tip, for example, if you have like Halloween or some another, I don't know, St. Patrick's Day, you can allow them, you can introduce them with these kind of costumes, and you can make a day, fancy dress day. We really like it. Like you can draw some funny faces, like whiskers on their face, and this is the best day for them, maybe.
Yes, and it helps a lot to relax them when they are nervous or tired after the kindergarten, or maybe the weather is not fine. Yes, please use it like a tip, like a privilege from you. Look, I also would like to maybe remind you, if you know this, or to share how to act, when dealing with very young learners. The first thing is about your voice and the style of speaking. So what is tone? What is the volume? Intonation. Do you change your intonation during the lesson? It's essential. How you start your lesson? With normal voice, like calm down. You see they're tired, and you like adjust your voice into their mood, right? Or you see they're bored, so please try to do something emotional to stir them. Yes, vary the intonation, the volume. Do you use polite, appropriate words during the lesson? Think about this. You include your phrases. Do you aware of their cognitive and physical abilities to understand what you mean by speaking about DNA replications? Okay, so, but at the same time, be always confident in what you do and what you say. Okay, it's like it's all about be consistent and persistent. Yes, in rules. You repeat the same rule all the time, of course, with grammatically correct structures and correct pronunciation, but be persistent here. If something goes wrong, no worries, just don't show that something goes wrong. Keep doing what you know, what you should do, what you can do, etc. Okay, what about your miming and gestures? They should be clear, your gestures, yes? They should understand what you mean. Sometimes you can support them with L1. Maybe it's not the straight translation, but still something like explanation of your gesture, like, а мы поем утром веселым голосом или грустным? Можно так даже. It's like, oh, we are happy in the morning. Oh, we sad in the evening. It depends on the situation, but try to use different ways to explain this. Do you speak fast or slow? It's also very important. Is it easy to repeat after you or not? So try to involve your students into your gestures. Believe me, they repeat almost everything you do. Even if you stand up to switch on music, they stand up with you and go to the computer. Be ready just to repeat the rules, routines, use some attention grabbers, etc. And what about your body language? Do you change the body position? What are your postures, right? Are you sit? How do you sit or stand, right? Are you standing behind their backs or they can see your face? I would recommend you to every time so they can see you, yes? If it's like teacher classroom interaction pattern. And try to stand a little bit aside when you try to make pairs, but do it not straight away during the first try. Just gradually move yourself far and far from the speaking pair. Try, yes? Ask them to sit on your very seat and to occupy their seat and say, okay, I'm a student now, and you? You have a new teacher. And they, wow, they're so proud to be a teacher. So think about this. So there are some clever thoughts about your voice. You can stress keywords. Yes, in low tone, it's a good idea to calm down noisy children. Never shout at the children because they don't understand this style. But when you speak in a lower voice, they will notice your that you are here faster than when you shout at them. So it's all about expressions you use, and we cover this. So guys, any questions about this very part? Of course, we are going to move to our last slide.
No questions.
No questions. Could you share maybe what was useful for you today? What would you like to develop?
I like the idea about zones, for example. Important, I think, during the lesson. So also like the things that we need to use appropriate gestures, like behave like children, but to be a teacher at the same time. So that's why it was important. So
yes, thank you very much, Ilian. Somebody else?
I like the idea about chant. Sorry.
Victoria, please.
I have heard about the chants, but I have never used them actually at the lessons, and so I need to use them to try.
Okay, great.
I
Something
like
else?
Fishing games. I would like to try them. I have a lot of ideas now how to use them, but I never used them before. Maybe some colored fish. I think it's very interesting. And the other idea that I like, it's about fashion.
Okay.
Now, okay, I want to bring color in life.
Look, as for the style of the teacher, I also have got one more tip for you. Some of the teachers who try to teach these first reading skills, right? they use very bright lipsticks, like red, as they want students to pay attention on your pronunciation and the way how you speak at this very moment. Try to use bright lipstick if you wanna try them to repeat after you, like the something, yes, with pronunciation, something referring to first reading skills. It will help a lot.
Thank you.
Great. Yes, look, by the way, there are many things we didn't cover today, and we haven't covered yet, because, for example, how to plan your lessons, how to provide crafts during your lessons, how to work in pairs, yes, and this is all about interaction partners, discipline, manage your classroom overall. So if you have some difficulties in, you have some questions, you're welcome to write me in WhatsApp or by email, and I will try to like sum up all of your requests and to prepare more practical sessions. Yes, because I need more details. What you're struggling with, what help, what kind of help you need. Okay, so it's very important to me to specify your problems. Okay.
Okay.
Because sometimes it's really easy for me to deal with one teacher after watching his lesson, right? But it's difficult for me to prepare the whole session for unknown teachers, right? I don't know what are your requests. I don't know what you're struggling with. So please try to specify. Maybe you write to Karina and she send all of your requests to me. You can write to me forward, just straightly write me, okay? I'm always ready to share and to help you to deal with your problems. And look, to conclude, for a conclusion, would you please read my message? So we learned that a very young learner is an individual who learns through
Ears, listening.
Listening, right? Your oral approach. What else?
Music.
Songs, yes, and chants. Through
Conversation.
Yes, through speaking, communicative approach, and games, having fun. Every teacher who is working with very young learners should be patient,
Strong.
and full of energy. What about this? Funny, and sometimes silly,
Happy
even.
and cheerful.
And enthusiastic too. Great. If you act confidently and know main concepts of kids' psychological and physical development, you will definitely have
cool lessons.
Cool. Success. Great lessons. And your students
will love you.
Love you, of course. And they will definitely beg for hugs, these warm hugs. And everything will be
awesome.
Right.
Cool. Great.
Everything will be good. You need more practice, more patience, and please find energy to share with your students. So thank you very much for this very session. Waiting for your questions. Please don't hesitate to write me emails, messages in WhatsApp. I'm really eager to learn more about your struggles, your obstacles, right, and some other questions.
Okay.
Natasha, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. So let's stop this recording.
Yeah, it was a great session.